Hey guys, today we are going to be discussing some of the documents that emerged in colonial America as we see a need for government to take place in these new colonies. Our focus question for the day is going to be, how did the English Bill of Rights, the Mayflower Compact, and the Virginia House of Burgesses lead to the colonial ideas of self-government? We're going to start with the English Bill of Rights. The English Bill of Rights was created a constitutional monarchy in England. This meant that the king or queen still acts as head of the state, but his or her powers are limited by law. Under this system, the monarchy couldn't rule without the consent of Parliament, and the people were given individual rights. So this is a move in the right direction as far as having a government that is where the colonists are living. You can still see that the king and the queen act as the head of the state, but they get the rights similar to how in Rome they had a government where they could vote and have a say. The Mayflower Compact was created when the pilgrims and non-pilgrims alike came to the new colony. It was a short document that established the colonists would remain loyal subjects to King James despite their need for self-government. So again, we see that even though the colonists are across the entire ocean from the king, they are still signing into agreement that they are going to remain loyal to their king as well as create a government for themselves. The Virginia House of Burgesses was the elected representative element of the Virginia General Assembly, which was the legislative body of the colony of Virginia. With the creation of the House of Burgesses in 1642, the General Assembly, which was established in 1619, became a bicameral institution, bi meaning two. So they were able to establish a government that had different branches. This is going to be some of the foundations of the government that we have today that has multiple branches. You can learn more about the Virginia House of Burgesses when you click on this link here. It's going to take you to an article about the House of Burgesses. So this is an interesting read talking about the legislature that was established in Jamestown, how they had their first meeting, and what they discussed at that meeting. So check that out when you have some extra time. So we just talked about 3 documents. This is a very short discussion today. But these 3 documents all have something in common other than representation of self-government. Can you find the common theme? They all still have the king or the queen making decisions in their colonies. So each document having the commonality of the control of the king. The colonists traveled to the New World for their own personal reasons. As we dig a little bit deeper into the colonies in the days to come, we're going to see the role of the king and how the colonists react to some of the laws and regulations that are governing them. In this slide, you'll find a text that talks a little bit more about colonial government. I would like for you to read the following text and answer the questions in your notebook. Once you've answered the questions, write a response to the prompt. Do you think the colonists were satisfied with these types of government? Why or why not? Argue and explain why you answered the way you did. So here's the text about the governments, and it's going to go into what a representative government is, what the House of Burgesses was, and it's also going to discuss the other documents that we talked about, which were the English Bill of Rights. And then the Mayflower Compact was, you'll have to refer back to that in your notes. Here you have some questions to help you understand the text a little bit better. And then once you've answered these questions, there's a writing prompt. What did you learn? Do you believe that the colonists were satisfied based on what you read? You're going to answer that question in paragraph form and use evidence from the text to help you answer that question. Here are those directions again, just so that you'll have them after you read the text. Have fun exploring about the representative governments in the early colonies, and I will see you guys tomorrow.